Week 1 is in the books, and the Lions are 0-1. Let's Talk Lions. Welcome back to an all-new episode here at Let's Talk Lions. My name is Jay. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for subscribing to the channel if you're a Lions fan. As I said, Week 1 is officially in the books, and the Lions are starting out 0-1 with a loss to Philadelphia. Now, I got a lot of thoughts regarding this game. I'm going to try to keep it brief for you. As brief as I can. First and foremost, my prediction was the Lions lose 27-24. The final score ended up being 38-35. So we scored a bit more than I anticipated, and so did Philly. Now, the number one thing that I want to take away, push comes to shove. There were a lot of things about this game that I did not love. There were a lot of things that I did love. But the number one thing that I really think needs to be communicated was, last year, we played Philadelphia on Halloween, and last year we got blown out 44-6. Philadelphia is a better team this year than they were last year. They are a much better team now than they were then. And the Lions are also a much better team because look at what we were able to do and look at how we were able to keep up with them. Now, granted, we saw a lot of stuff that I don't ever want to see again. Some mishaps, some miscues, a lot of stuff that went down that was no bueno. But as a whole, what I saw from the Detroit Lions is we are a better team, period. And it's a tough thing to communicate because I know, man, as Lions fans, we've had a lot of hardship. We've had a lot of pain. We've had a lot of losses in our life. And so I know that there's a tendency for people to run and say, same old Lions. It's not. This is a better team, period. I look at what this team was able to do, and yes, there were problems. Yes, we did things wrong, but this team is getting better. These guys are developing. We are looking better, and I think there's a lot that we could pull out of it that is good. Last year, we were blown out 44-6. This year, we hung in there 38-35 and almost took it back right at the end. So that is the number one overarching thing I want to say before getting into this. With that being said, let's break it down a little bit. First and foremost, as I mentioned in the pregame, the preview, is that if we couldn't contain Hurts, we weren't winning. And we could not contain Hurts. So we didn't win. Yeah, a lot of other stuff that goes into it, but Hurts ran 17 times on us. I mean, Josh Allen only ran 10 times. Lamar Jackson only ran 6 times. Kyler Murray only ran 5 times. That tells you a little bit about Hurts, his legs, and our defense as a whole, and the way they schemed up against us and what we were able to, or really not able to do. And we could not contain Hurts. 17 attempts, 90 yards, 5.3 yards a carry. Hurts used his leg, and he absolutely devastated us. He's athletic. Philadelphia fans, if you're watching, congratulations to you when watching a QB who is mobile, who can move. Yeah, Hurts has got a lot to prove. I think Jalen Hurts has a lot that he has to prove coming into this year. But what he was able to do on the ground against us was devastating. I mean, I just think back to that TD that he was able to score while you guys are right on the goal line. Philly's right on the goal line, and every side chair expert sitting there and saying, oh man, he's going to run right. And then what does he do? Snaps the ball, runs right, TD. And it was just this thing where I'm like, man, we cannot seem to shut him down on the ground. His athleticism is it's dynamic. It really is. He has a lot of potential, and watching him on the ground just hurt us a ton. Hutchinson missed him at least 2 times, like 2 times where he came running in, and then Hurts was able just to juke him out, make the move, and get a couple extra yards. So, as I said, have to be able to contain Hurts, and we couldn't. But speaking of the run game, I do want to look at something that was awesome for Detroit. Bouncing to our side, DeAndre Swift is just a beast. That guy is like a little tank out there just motoring all around the field. Swift had a total of 15 rushing attempts. He was putting up at least 9.6 yards a carry, a total of 144 yards, and a TD. Not to mention the run that he ripped off for 50 yards down the left side of the field. And I was hoping, I thought he was going to get a TD out of it, maybe throw the stiff arm out, but not everybody's Josh Allen. I know. But seriously, DeAndre Swift, man, is just, he's electric. He's electric. And for the Lions not having a running game for as long as we haven't had a running game, it is so much fun to watch that man play. It is so exhilarating watching him. And Ben Johnson, we got to give credit to our new OC, Ben Johnson, for some of those play calls that he made and really what he's doing and bringing to this Detroit offense. Man, he's a smart mind, a brain. You could call him Pinky and the Brain. I mean, even in the air, he took 3 passes for 31 yards, a little bit over 10 yards per reception. Swifty is a beast. Even past Swift, you look at Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams was used in a lot of those tight areas, a lot of those trying to grab the first down runs, or at the goal line where he was able to. Williams on that first drive gets hit by the D-line, bounces back, takes that step, swings out right for the TD. It was just a ton of fun. And I think overall, it was just so exciting to see the run game be as good as we were promised it would be. Ben Johnson said it would be better. Ben Johnson said he was going to take it to the next level. And immediately, it really does look like it. Now, for as dominant as our run game was, we had a lot of problems in the air. A lot. Goff went 21 for 37. So right around a 56% completion percentage. He put up 215 yards in the air, 2 TDs, and that pick 6, which we will get into in a little bit. Reynolds was targeted only 3 times, and in those 3 times only made 1 reception for 28 yards. He dropped a ball that just hit him right in the hands in a moment where we desperately needed him to catch that, and he could have ripped it off to the right. And so it's like watching Reynolds, there was some miscommunication. And this is something that I think we saw as a whole offensively in the air between Goff and the receivers. Goff and TJ Hawkinson was miscommunication. We saw a couple passing routes get mixed up. DJ Chark being one of them, where Chark rolled out and then Goff throws inside, and all of a sudden everybody's like, what is going on? And you could tell Goff was a little bit, pipped, you could say. And then later it happened again with TJ Hawkinson, where Hawk rolled inside and then he throws it on the outside of him. Pass deflected right into the hands of one of the DBs of the Philadelphia Eagles, and they ran it back for that pick 6, and that pick 6 did us in. Now, granted, I know it was in the first half, and so you can't really say like, oh, that was the reason that we lost, but that definitely was an anvil on the back shoulders of all our boys, because now all of a sudden you're down 21-7. And you got a lot of answering to do. And this is what makes a great team great, is when you're down 21-7 and you can come back when you're in those situations that you don't want to be in, shouldn't be in, and you're able to rise to the occasion. And so here I'm watching and I'm like, uh-oh, now we are in trouble. Not a place that we needed to be in that early in the game. That pick 6 haunted us for the entire game, because it just really buried us to a place where now you're trying to crawl out of a pit like Andy Dwyer, hoping to make it to the top, and I just felt like we couldn't get out of the pit. The O-line stepped up. O-line did a great job, especially with Ragnow having the groin injury earlier in the week. Him being able to come back, he plays through the injury, played well. Him, Sewell, Decker, all of them, like they gave Goff a lot of time. But I think the O-line as a whole performed well, allowing Goff to have his best shot, allowing our receivers to have time to run the routes, and they did. And everybody looked good. Stenberg stepping up, playing at that right guard position, doing a great job coming in because of the Vitae injury. You know your O-line is doing a good job when you don't really hear their name at all being called out during a game. If you hear their number or their name, that's when there's a problem. And we did see that, number 71, getting called. 2 penalties. I believe it was 2 false starts for Detroit. And these are the momentum killers that I saw a little bit in this game that we saw all last year. When the Lions get a little bit of momentum and then Hawkinson holds. Or Stenberg, false start. Like the momentum killers, these little errors that aren't even physical or on the field. It's these moments where you're like, what are we Why? And it kills the momentum. The offense starts moving the opposite way, and then you just add all that up, and there's a lot of negative yardage and a loss at the end of it. But I mean, hey, listen. Again, the O-line did a great job. Defensively speaking, Okudah played well. Okudah played well, man. Like, he got that one pass defended against where he got his hand in there against Devontae Smith. Didn't allow him to make the catch, which would have been a huge catch for Philly. And he had a total of 10 tackles, 7 solos. Like, Okudah played well. His counterpart, Amani Oruwariye, also played well. 1 pass defended against, 4 tackles, all 4 solos. Like, hey, the secondary looked good. Secondary looked good until, Tracy Walker may have gotten a little upset, which I still don't really understand the severity of that situation. Doesn't sound like he will be suspended at all. Just received a fine. But I mean, when you're looking at our defense, Malcolm Rodriguez is a stud. I can't believe, man. I cannot believe that we got that guy in the 6th round. I'm watching this dude just throwing around 300-pound D lineman. He grabbed a defensive lineman and literally threw him on his back right at the goal line while Hurts tried to make it in, ends up getting shut down. There were just multiple times where Rodrigo was there. He was stuffing the offense over and over again. Like, what a thrill seeing him get his first start, get out there and play well. Campbell said it. He said he didn't have one missed assignment. So, Rodrigo, from one fan to you that you'll never know, but there you go. All in all, this game against Philadelphia, I didn't see us winning. Because, man, as I said, Philly got better. Philly is a good team. And there were moments throughout it where, had we not hurt ourselves, whether it was with flags, the personal foul, like these little things, or a friggin' pick 6, or miscommunication, misreads, misroutes, had it not been for these little things along the way, Lions would have won that game, would have beat a great team, and it would have been an amazing way to start the year. However, what we can pull away from it is, number one, this is just a better Detroit Lions squad. It is. So be excited for that going into Washington next week, where I think we take the W. As a whole, Detroit looks good. We got a lot of stuff to clean up. Got a lot of stuff to clean up in the air, but on the ground, this Lions team, DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams, the way they complement one another, and the way that Ben Johnson is calling those plays, calling that offense, looks good. I like what I saw as a whole. Stuff to clean up, but that's it, man. That's it for week 1. That's it for Philly. Let's move on to Washington and clinch that first W. I think we do. We should. Absolutely, we should. But that is it for today. Drop your thoughts in the comments regarding the game, how you felt about the run game versus the air game. Let us have it in the comment section. That's it for now. I'm going to turn the fan on because it's a little warm in here. I really just need water. That's what I need. I need some water. Okay.